Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Kimberly Johnson, affectionately known as Dr. Kim. I'm a practicing medical doctor and a skincare enthusiast. Today I'll be looking at what everyone has been asking me, and that is sunscreens, and in particular, the best sunscreens for persons with skin of color. Let's get right into it. Let's get this straight. If you are not wearing a good sunscreen, then everything you're doing for your hyperpigmentation, for your anti-aging, for your acne skincare regimes don't make sense. You won't get any results. Sunscreen is necessary to block UV rays from damaging your skin. So, as I said in the anti-aging video, UV light or UV rays cause photoaging and aging of the skin. So you need sunscreen. As I said in the hyperpigmentation video, UV rays cause irritation to the skin. Irritation leads to inflammation, and inflammation leads to hyperpigmentation. UV rays will trigger your melanocytes to produce more melanin. You're going to get hyperpigmentation. You need sunscreen. Have I made it clear that you need sunscreen? And I don't want to hear, oh, I'm melanin rich, I don't need sunscreen. Stop. Melanin only gives you 15, SPF 15. You need way more than SPF 15, honey. There are two types of sunscreens, chemical sunscreens and mineral sunscreens. Chemicals are also called organic sunscreens, and the mineral sunscreens can be called physical sunscreens as well. Now, the differences in chemical and physical is that with physical sunscreens or mineral sunscreens, about 5 to 10% of UV rays are reflected from the surface of the skin, and the rest is absorbed and converted to thermal energy, so it prevents it from going to the skin. With chemical sunscreens, however, there's no reflection of the UV rays. All of it is absorbed and converted to thermal energy and dissipated. Now, there are sunscreens that have a combination. So you'll have the chemical components and the mineral components. What to look for when it comes to mineral sunscreens are zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. These are the main or active ingredients that you will see. For the chemical sunscreens, you will see avobenzone, oxybenzone, homosalate, octinoxate, octocrylene. These are some of the things that are considered chemical filters or in a chemical sunscreen. Now, another important difference between mineral and chemical is that chemical sunscreens, or the ingredients that make up a chemical sunscreen, are assimilated or absorbed in the blood and the urine, whereas mineral sunscreen or mineral filters like zinc oxide and titanium dioxide don't go into the bloodstream. So when it comes to women who are pregnant or nursing, it's better to tell them to use a mineral sunscreen. You don't want anything going into their bloodstream or into their breast milk. And for also children, I would recommend that you stick to mineral sunscreen for children. Now, there's always a battle between which one is better. Persons will say, oh, chemical sunscreens are no good. And that's because we're seeing quite a few sunscreen brands and lines being withdrawn because of the benzone or the benzene component. Now, I don't personally use chemical sunscreens, but if you want to use it, there are safe options to use, which we'll discuss later on. I stick to mineral sunscreens, but then persons do not like mineral sunscreens because you always end up with that white, chalky look on your face, or a white cast, which I call toothpaste. And nobody wants to walk around with toothpaste on, looking like they have toothpaste on their face. But I will discuss some good options for mineral sunscreens that won't give you a white cast. So for those with hyperpigmentation or very sensitive skin, I would recommend you go with mineral sunscreens. One, because at least some of the UV light is being reflected, and the ingredients, zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, are safer for the skin. They're anti-inflammatory. When it comes to a good sunscreen, some of the things that you must look out for are that it is SPF 50. I know it sounds extreme, but you want maximum UVB protection because UVB is what leads to skin cancer. I may allow SPF 40, but for those with very hyperpigmented skin or you're trying to prevent hyperpigmentation, stick to 50 or 40 or more, nothing less. You also want to look for sunscreen that has PA4 pluses, and this takes into account UVA rays, which lead to aging. So we may allow PA3 plus, but you always want 4 pluses, which is maximum protection. You may also want a sunscreen that has blue light or visible light protection, and this will be from iron oxide. Now, most tinted sunscreens will contain iron oxide because that is what causes the tint or the color in the sunscreen. You do not want a sunscreen with denatured alcohol, or what you'll see written is alcohol denat. If you see alcohol, straight alcohol, or alcohol denat, leave it alone because that will lead to drying of the skin. And you do not want to be wearing a sunscreen all day that is drying to your skin. The next thing is that you don't want fragrances, or do you want essential oils? Fragrances can cause contact dermatitis, but it's also not good if you have like eczema or rosacea where your skin is super sensitive. And essential oils may cause skin sensitization, so leave those alone. If you have hyperpigmentation, you'd want a sunscreen that has UV stable tyrosinase inhibitors. And you will know from the hyperpigmentation video how tyrosinase inhibitors work by calming the melanocytes and preventing overproduction of melanin that will lead to hyperpigmentation. So some examples of UV stable tyrosinase inhibitors that you might want in your sunscreen are UV stable vitamin C derivatives, and you can watch my vitamin C video to know what those are. Alpha arbutin 2% and licorice root extract. I will also mention niacinamide, which is a tyrosinase inhibitor, but it also will absorb excess oils from the skin. So for persons who have oily or acne prone skin, niacinamide is also something good to have in your sunscreen. It will also be good to have a sunscreen with antioxidants because we know that antioxidants will fight the damage that is caused from UV rays. So we want antioxidants like green tea extract, vitamin E, or you'll see it as tocopherol. So these are some of the things that you want in your sunscreen to fight UV aging or photo aging from UV rays. And finally, at the important part or the exciting part where I tell you some good options for mineral sunscreens, chemical sunscreens, and combination sunscreens. I'll firstly tell you about some mineral sunscreens that are good options. And trust me, it is always difficult to give good mineral SPF 50 broad spectrum sunscreen options that do not leave a white cast. So this is always a struggle for me to recommend. I'll do the best I can, but if you find a really good one, it's going to cost you a little more money than you want to, but it's worth it. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Colorescience Sunforgettable Mineral SPF 50. It is broad spectrum. It has PA4+, it has blue light protection, and this is tinted, so it has iron oxide. It's very good. It's lightweight, and in this one I have bronze. And trust me, when I wear this, I look so bronzy and I'm glowing. They also made one afterwards called Flex, and this one is also good because what happens is instead of being tinted straight out of the pack, it comes out white, and then as you rub it into your fingers and then rub it onto your face, it automatically adapts the color of your skin. So another good one as well. Another one is the Access Y Physical Sunscreen SPF 50. Now I like this one because one, it has a very good price point if you buy it on Amazon. Two, it is not tinted, so this is good for men as well. And three, it has amazing ingredients. The only drawback is if you buy it on Amazon, it takes a long while to ship. But otherwise, if you want to wait, go ahead and get this one. It is on Amazon, I think it is $22 or $23, which is good because it's giving you anti-inflammatory ingredients like allantoin and mugwort plant, which is anti-inflammatory. It increases the elasticity of the skin. It's an antioxidant and it's antifungal. This one also contains niacinamide, which again is a UV stable tyrosinase inhibitor, but also will absorb oil. So Access Y SPF 50 is good for those with acne or oily skin. It also contains, as I said, antioxidants in the form of green tea and vitamin E. And it also contains squalane, which is very good for adding moisture to the skin. So the Access Y Physical Sunscreen SPF 50 is also a very good one. Next is the Australian Gold Botanical Tinted SPF 50 Sunscreen. That one is also very good ingredients, very safe ingredients. It's just that it's tinted, so the men may not want this one. And it's on Amazon for a very good price point. It's usually like $13 to $15 on Amazon, so that's a good one. The next one is the Elta MD UV Restore Broad Spectrum SPF 40, and they have this in tinted and untinted. So it also contains squalane, which is moisturizing. It contains tetrahexyl decalescorbate, which is fat soluble vitamin C derivative that also will stimulate collagen production. It contains vitamin E, so it has antioxidants, UV stable tyrosinase inhibitors, it's moisturizing. So that's also a good one. The Elta MD Restore SPF 40. It's broad spectrum as well. The next one is also from the Elta MD family, which is the Elta MD UV Elements Broad Spectrum SPF 44. And this one is also tinted. It has antioxidants, it has ascorbyl phosphate, and it has hyaluronic acid, which is a humectant and will lead to hydration of the skin. So Elta MD has a host of sunscreens, so these are the two best ones I would say in terms of mineral sunscreens. I also want to point out that Elta MD has another sunscreen that I would recommend for women who are pregnant, trying to get pregnant, or nursing, and this is the Elta MD UV Physical Broad Spectrum SPF 41, and it is tinted. Now, the ingredients are safe for women who are pregnant, and it does contain linoleic acid, and you know that linoleic acid is one of the fatty acids that are a part of the group called vitamin F, which is very good for hyperpigmentation and moisture to the skin. So that is the Elta MD UV Physical Broad Spectrum SPF 40. Now I'll talk about the chemical sunscreens, and you can look back earlier in the video to see what are the ingredients that compose a chemical sunscreen. Now, I don't personally wear them, but I will give you some options of some that have good ingredients that you can choose if you so desire. Now, we know about Supergoop, and one of the best chemical sunscreens they have is the Supergoop Glowscreen SPF 40 PA 3+, but it has no fragrance, no essential oils. The ingredients are very safe for skin. And the next one I'll mention is La Roche-Posay Anti-Shine Athelios XL, and this is also SPF 50. Now, both of these brands, Supergoop and La Roche-Posay and also Elta MD, have very good chemical sunscreens as well, but the ones I just mentioned are the best ones based on ingredients. Now to the combination sunscreens, and as I said before, these contain chemical plus mineral filters. So you'll see them having the chemical filters plus zinc oxide, titanium dioxide. So examples of these are that are good and safe for the skin are again Elta MD UV Sheer Broad Spectrum SPF 50, and this has zinc oxide, octocrylene, tetrahexyl decalescorbate, which is vitamin fat soluble vitamin C derivative. It has hyaluronic acid and squalane at a low percent, but still very hydrating and moisturizing. The next one is DRMTLGY, and that's supposed to be dermatology. Broad spectrum SPF 45, and this one is also very good. It's, I would say, if you're a lighter skin tone, you should go with this one because it may leave a white cast on persons who are very dark skin or the deep, rich chocolate skin. You'd want to not go with that one. And it has zinc oxide, octinoxate, niacinamide, glycerin, vitamin E, hyaluronic acid. So these are all hydrating ingredients. You have antioxidants, you have UV stable tyrosinase inhibitor, and niacinamide, which will absorb oil for those with oily, acne prone skin. But as I said, if you are darker skin tone, it may leave a white cast. Some general guidelines when it comes to wearing sunscreen include how much you are wearing. So for instance, you don't just go bloop bloop and a little dot and you're finished. No, you should be applying what's recommended at 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon, and it should be applied on your face and on your neck and on your ears. I am guilty because I don't always apply it to my neck, which I should do, and I'm trying. So you're supposed to apply it to your neck. The next thing is that sunscreen should be reapplied throughout the course of the day every 2 hours. Yes. So for those who are not wearing makeup, it's easy to just reapply your liquid sunscreen that you used in the morning. But for those who are wearing makeup, you can use the powder SPF, the powder or the compact sunscreens. So Colorescience also has a powder SPF 50 that you can get in different color ranges. There's also the Este Lauder Double Wear BB Cream liquid compact, which is also in multiple shades that you can reapply over your makeup. And there's also the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Airbrush Perfecting Powder SPF 50. And these are all mineral powder sunscreens that you can reapply over your makeup throughout the day. For me, sometimes I'm not able to reapply, so I'm always walking with my UV visor, and this I wear anytime I'm outside. So if I'm walking from my house to the car, from a building to my car, or back and forth, I'm wearing this. And it really does give me protection as well. Please, if you want one of these, you can email skinbydrkim@gmail.com and follow Twitter and Instagram to see how you can get one. You should also be wearing sunscreen from as young as 6 months old. Yes. And a good baby sunscreen that I'd recommend is Aveeno Baby Continuous Protection Zinc Oxide Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 50. So this is a good one. Whew, that was a mouthful. But that's a good one for babies or toddlers. But yes, from 6 months old and onwards, you should be wearing sunscreen. I really hope that somebody was able to get a good sunscreen option from that mention. And as usual, it is my pleasure to give information. Please stay tuned for all the other videos that are coming. We have product reviews coming next. We have specialized routines for men, pregnant women, eczema skin, so don't miss it. And remember to subscribe to Twitter and Instagram to know how you can get one of these UV visors from Skin by Dr. Kim. And you can also email skinbydrkim@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, and you will see me in the next one.